The hamlet of Ravenmyore, hidden deep between dense woods and rolling hills, was home to an ancient house that no one dared approach. The decrepit structure, with broken windows and decaying beams, seemed to sag, as if the earth itself was eager to swallow it whole. This was the lair of Scarlet Mara, the witch whose presence had terrorized Ravenmyore for countless generations. Long ago, Mara was a kind-hearted healer, cherished by the townsfolk for her herbal remedies and cures. But as jealousy brewed among them, rumors of dark sorcery began to spread like wildfire. When a deadly sickness struck Ravenmyore, the villagers pointed fingers at Mara, accusing her of bringing the plague upon them. In their fury, they dragged her to the village square, branded her a witch, and burned her at the stake. As the flames licked at her skin, Mara cursed the town with her final breath, vowing that one day she would return to claim the souls of those who betrayed her. Ravenmyore, once lively and bustling, had since withered into a lifeless shell. Abandoned homes lined the streets, and only a handful of families remained, either too impoverished or too stubborn to flee. No one dared set foot near the old house, for it was said that Scarlet Mara's vengeful spirit still lingered within, waiting, watching. At night, strange lights could be seen flickering in the windows, and the distant sound of whispered voices would carry on the wind. Some claimed to have heard the sound of scratching, like nails dragging against wood, coming from inside. Others swore they saw the figure of a woman in the window, her eyes glowing red, staring out into the darkness. One stormy evening, a young woman named Evelyn, who had just moved to Ravenmyore, heard the stories from the locals at the tavern. Unlike the others, Evelyn was curious. She didn't believe in ghosts or curses. She was a skeptic, and the thought of a haunted house intrigued her more than it frightened her. That night, she decided to visit the house. Armed with nothing but a lantern and her courage, she walked through the overgrown path that led to the cursed place. The wind howled, and the branches of the trees reached out like skeletal hands, trying to stop her. But Evelyn pressed on. As she approached the house, a chill ran down her spine. The air felt thick, heavy, as though the ground itself was alive, pulsing with something unseen. The front door, barely hanging on its hinges, creaked open as though inviting her inside. Inside, the house was dark and cold. The smell of damp wood and decay filled her nostrils. The floorboards groaned under her weight, and every step she took seemed to echo louder than the last. Shadows danced along the walls, their shapes twisting and morphing into faces that leered at her. But Evelyn pressed on, determined to prove the stories wrong. She made her way to the parlor, where an old mirror hung on the wall. It was said that this mirror had been Mara's favorite, a gift from a lover long ago. It was also where, according to legend, she had trapped her spirit. Evelyn stood before it, her reflection dim in the flickering light of her lantern. "Scarlet Mara," she whispered, her voice barely audible. The room seemed to grow colder. "Scarlet Mara," she repeated, this time louder. The house groaned in response. "Scarlet Mara." Suddenly, the lantern flickered and went out, plunging the room into darkness. Evelyn's heart raced, and she fumbled for the lantern, trying to relight it. But then she heard it, a faint whisper, soft at first, but growing louder, like 100 voices speaking at once. I believe the voices hissed. "You are not welcome." Evelyn's hands trembled as she felt a cold breath on the back of her neck. She spun around, but no one was there. The whispering grew louder, more insistent. The floor beneath her seemed to tremble as though something was moving beneath the surface. And then, from the corner of the room, she saw her. A woman, dressed in a tattered black gown, her skin pale as death, her eyes burning with a crimson light. Her face was gaunt, her lips twisted into a cruel smile. "Mara," Evelyn whispered, her voice trembling. The figure drew closer, her footsteps eerily soundless. "You summoned me," she whispered, her voice rough and unnerving. "Now, you will remain." Panic surged through Evelyn as she stumbled backward, her breathing shallow and frantic. There was no escape. The door had slammed shut behind her, and the wall seemed to tighten, trapping her inside. She opened her mouth to scream, but no sound escaped. The last thing Evelyn saw was Mara's twisted face, her expression a mix of wrath and satisfaction, before darkness swallowed her whole. By dawn, the house remained just as it always had, still and forsaken. But Evelyn was gone, vanished without a trace. Whispers spread that Scarlet Mara had claimed yet another victim, trapping her soul within the mirror, alongside those who had dared to challenge the curse before her.